Hey Jackson, I ran a test on your auction class and I got problems with the get lot and the remove lot, so I want to go over those. I think the way I want to do it is just I'm going to start from scratch here. And I'll let you, go back and rebuild things. You might have an idea. It's hard for me to follow actually what you had down there. So I'm going to just start from scratch, and then if this makes sense, if you want to, build something off of what you already had, or restart from scratch, either way, that's fine with me. But the basic idea, and I'm just going to write in some comments for what the basic idea is. So what we want to do is we want to loop through the lots until we find a lot with number equal to lot number, right? That's the basic gist. And then we want to return the lot with that number, right? So maybe we could start with the general case. So we saw in the text, if you want to loop through until you get to a particular point, this is kind of like an indefinite loop, right? We don't know ahead of time how far we need to go through the loop, because we just want to go until we get a match here, right? We don't need to look at every single item in the lots collection. So we're looping through this collection here, this array list, but we're only going to go until we get the item we need, right? So we don't need a for loop here. We just need a while loop. So basically we're going to say, so I guess what we need then is, we want to do something like this. We want to do something like while we don't have this lot yet, but I'm going to say let's pretend we have a lot. While the lot number is not equal to that, right? Then we want to get another one, right? So again, I'm still kind of pseudo coding it because we don't have all this stuff here, right? But let's say we could get another lot here. So we're going to get our whatever our next index is. We're going to get that one, and then we're going to increment our next index. Something like that, right? So now we're looping through. We keep changing the lots, and they get bigger and bigger. So the problem we have here, this is not going to compile, right? Because we haven't set up our variable lot or our variable net index either. So let's initialize those. Let's start with let's start with let's create a lot variable, and then let's just to initialize it, right, to get the first one off the list, we can say lot equals lots get 0, right? So now we've got the first one, and we can initialize our next index. We can say int next index equals 1. So I guess what I'm thinking here is we've already got 0. So the next one we want to get is going to be 1. So in our loop, so basically what's going to happen, our first test through, we're going to say if we're checking to see if lot get number is equal to lot number. If the first one we got, if that 0, 1 has the same lot number as this number that was passed in, then we'll just fall straight through. But if it's not equal, then we want our next index to be 1. So the next one we're going to check is going to be 1 because we've already got the 0, 1 here, right? So that kind of makes sense. And then we'll return that number if we got one. The only other thing, the condition that we have to worry about here is if we don't have any lots, then this is going to bomb. If our lots array list is empty, when we say get 0, it's going to right away say our array list is our index is out of bounds because there weren't any. So we need to put in a check here to see if lot's size is bigger than 0, right? Then we'll do all of this mess. So then I'm going to include everything down to here. And I'm going to go to Edit Tools and say Auto Layout, make sure things are clean. Okay. So now, and I should probably initialize this to null because then I can check to see if lot is null later on, right? So now I've looped through the lots until we find a match, right? Because this is going to loop as long as there's not a match, and if there is a match, it's going to fall through, right? But there is a possibility that we get through the whole list and we don't have a match, right? So we have to consider that situation. So in that situation, our lot will still be null, right? So let's see. So we can check. So there's two possibilities, right? One is that two possible ways to fail. One is that lot never got set to anything because the size because there's nothing in the list of lots. So if this list is empty, we'll fall right through the if statement and lot will still be null. The other possibility is that there are lots, but we went through all of them and we got to the last one and it still didn't, there still wasn't a match, right? So while lot get number, oh yeah, what if this lot number, we have lots, but this lot number doesn't exist in the list? We better have a way of quitting out, right? If that guy doesn't exist. So we're going to have another test in here. What if we got to the end? Let's say we want to also check to make sure that next index is less than the size of the lots, right? Because otherwise, because we're going to keep incrementing next index, if it gets to be the size of the lot, this is going to give us a out of bounds, right? So one possibility is that there were no lots at all anyway. So in that case, we're going to have the lot is going to be null. And the other case is and the other case where we could fail is if there were lots, but none of them matched. Okay. So let's take those cases one at a time. So if the lot size was 0, then lot is going to stay null, right? If we got to the end and we still didn't have a match, then that means whatever was the last lot we got is still going to be in preserved in this lot variable, right? Because we keep looping through, we keep setting lot. So if it goes all the way through the collection, then lot is going to point to the last guy in the collection. So if we got to the end and the last lot in the collection is still not equal to number, and this is, so again, like I'm saying, this is if we failed, right? If we had a match somewhere along the line, then we would have fallen out of the loop, you know, at some point, and there would be a match. So this would fail. But let's say, but if we got null, so if we never executed the body of this if statement because the lot size was 0. So if lot was null, or if we looped through this whole deal and none of them matched, then the last one wouldn't match either. So that's going to be a non-match. So this is the case where we didn't get a match. So we could say something like system out println lot number oh, let's put a space. Does not exist, right? And then return a null. Yeah. Okay, because we don't have a lot. Else we return. Else we have a match, so we can just return that lot. All right. Oh, yeah. What did I mess up? Oh, yeah. This is not a number. It's a lot number, isn't it? Lot number. And lot number. Okay, let's see if that compiles. Yes, it does. And let's try testing GetLot. And there we go. Oh, test results. Let me just make it sharp. There it is. Okay. So that one worked. Okay. So then I'll do another video for the remove lot and send that up to you too.